Hello, today I'm going to talk about the governor's race in Virginia and why it is basically a statistical dead heat. Has had some polls that have had Youngkin up by 6 points, but those polls are generally garbage. The aggregate is within a point or two either way. A lot of the Democratic polls have Youngkin up by a point or McAuliffe up by a point. It's basically a dead heat. I think Youngkin is going to win because he's got the momentum. The polls have been terrible for these last two election cycles, but they do capture momentum one way or another. And Youngkin has all the momentum going with him right now. This should not have happened. This happened because the Democrats ran a horrific campaign and Youngkin ran a great campaign. Now let's talk about the Democrats and what happened. Virginia is no longer a purple state. It is a blue state. Virginia went for Joe Biden by 10 points. So it's a +8 to +10 Democratic state. The governor is Democratic. So how is McAuliffe almost losing or going to lose the governorship? Well, first of all, he came in and he was governor before, and he came in and thought he would be crowned governor, that Virginia would just give him the governorship. He wouldn't have to work. And that was basically the case until about a month ago. He started running into problems when the CRT, critical race theory, in schools started happening. What started happening at first was parents wanted their kids to go back to school, and the school boards wanted to continue to shut down the schools. And they went to school board meetings and they felt they were disrespected and the school boards weren't listening to them. This morphed into critical race theory in schools and everything that's going on in Virginia with the parents versus the school boards, and the school board association writing a letter to the attorney general, and the attorney general saying we're going to basically sick the FBI on the parents. Virginia is ground zero for CRT, and McAuliffe basically shot himself in the head, not in the foot. He shot himself in the head when he said that schools should control what gets taught to kids and not parents. Now, whether you agree with this or not doesn't matter. In this political environment where a majority of suburban moms are upset and angry, you don't say that. It's basically political suicide, because right now it's the suburban moms that are the swing votes in elections. They left Donald Trump in the last presidential election. They're leaving the Democrats in this gubernatorial election over education, over CRT. That's basically the issue. A poll was done, and the number one issue in Virginia right now is education. So that is the issue. That is the issue that is giving Youngkin a chance. Youngkin has said, I'm going to ban CRT. I'm going to give the power back to the parents. And again, McAuliffe said, I'm going to support the school boards. So they're leaving him in droves. It just, he did. He shot himself in the head. Now, shooting yourself in the head isn't always a fatal wound. And the Democrats panicked when they saw that lead just evaporate. His lead just disappeared. And so they brought in the reinforcements. They brought in Joe Biden. The problem with bringing in Joe Biden is that he has a 43% approval rating in Virginia. So that's not going to get you any votes. No one is excited that Joe Biden is coming to speak. And when Joe Biden came to speak, he spoke about Trump. Orange man bad, and Youngkin is Trump, and they brought in Kamala Harris. The problem with bringing in Kamala Harris again, Kamala Harris is even less popular than Trump in Virginia. They brought in Stacey Abrams and Barack Obama to try to get the black vote out. That could work. I don't see that energizing the black vote enough to swing the state. So it was education. And Youngkin also ran a brilliant campaign because in order for a Republican to win, you need the Trump voters, but you need the suburban moms and the moderates. And so Youngkin did not denounce Trump, but he did not campaign with Trump. Trump endorsed him, but you never saw Trump and Youngkin campaigning together. You never saw them stump together. So the Democrats couldn't run the last election cycle. The last election cycle for the Democrats was all Trump bad, Orange Man bad. Vote for us because Orange Man bad, and every Republican is connected to Orange Man and he's bad. The problem the Democrats are running into now is that Orange Man is not on the ticket. Trump is not on the ticket. Youngkin did not run with Trump, and to compare Trump to Youngkin now is kind of falling on deaf ears because people are like, well, Trump's not running. You can't blame Trump for things that are happening in Virginia, and he's no longer president. So it's more of a, all right, Democrats, what are you going to do for me now? I don't care about Trump anymore. Now, Trump might come back. If he comes back, they can run that campaign. But in this election cycle, they cannot just run on this person's a Republican and he's connected to Trump, Orange Man bad, vote for me. And if you go back and listen to a lot of the campaign for McAuliffe, it's trying to connect him to Trump, and it's just not working this time. The Democrats and McAuliffe need to say this is what we're going to do, not just Orange Man bad. So you have that drag on McAuliffe of the national Democrats coming in aren't helping him because they are not popular right now. And then it's education. Education, CRT in schools. The suburban moms and dads don't like it. They don't want it. They're not going to vote for it. They feel disrespected by the school boards and the National Democratic Party, who basically call them, not directly, but call them terrorists. They're not happy. Youngkin's going to win. Those are the swing votes, unless McAuliffe can get enough of the black vote out today. If he does that, he's got a chance to take it because he's lost the suburban moms and suburban dads. They're gone this election cycle. So his hope now is that he can get enough of the black vote out to counteract that. And also, he's got a chance if there was enough early voting when he was way ahead. If there was enough early voting for the Democrats, I think he can hold on to win. But I think he's going to get swamped today because the Republicans are angry. A lot of elections are not won and lost on what the person believes. They're won and lost on how angry the party is, how angry the Republicans are, how angry the Democrats are. And the Republicans are pretty angry right now. So I think they're going to come out to vote in droves. And if you poll them, most of them are going to say it was about education. It's about keeping what they see as racism out of their schools. So, yeah, I predict that Youngkin's going to win, probably about a 70% chance, 75% chance that Youngkin's going to win, and a 25% chance that McAuliffe's going to win in Virginia. I'm not even going to talk about New Jersey because that's going to be closer than it should have been. Again, the Democrats are not popular right now, but I don't think the Republican has enough support behind him. It's New Jersey's too Democratic right now. Maybe next election cycle, but this election cycle, the governor's still going to be a Democrat. And that's about it. Remember, never to believe in anybody's propaganda, not even your own. Thanks. Bye-bye.